How do you know the letter A is called A and not A or Ah? Did you look it up in the dictionary's pronunciation guide? No. If you're a native English speaker, you probably learned it from a song. A similar question was posed by a rabbi when somebody asked him about the importance of oral tradition. Oral tradition, he explained, determines how you read. Oral reading traditions are crucial in Semitic languages like Hebrew, Syriac, and Arabic, where it's mostly just the consonants that are written on the line. Which vowels you read or how you vocalize can impact the meaning, sometimes subtly and sometimes significantly. Sometimes the consonants can also be a matter of interpretation. In Hebrew, some written consonants can represent two sounds, like shin and sin, or the 6 consonant pairs known as begad-kefat. In Arabic, the most drastic case is a little bump in the middle of a word, which could be one of 5 different consonants. Diacritics, the little marks or dots around the letters, show you which of the possible consonants or vowels to read. But the oldest manuscripts in each of these language traditions don't have the dots. You had to learn from others how to correctly pronounce what you were reading. In other words, oral tradition was vital. But the undoctored text also allowed people to read the same text different ways, developing different reading traditions. For sacred texts like the Bible or Quran, this openness had its upsides and its downsides. Nature abhors a vacuum, and sacred texts abhor ambiguity, or at least the people who interpret them do. Over time, it became clear that not all possible interpretations were desirable ones, and ambiguity didn't let you enforce norms or demarcate your group. Christians and Jews could argue about who was reading the Hebrew text correctly. The dot was invented to clear up ambiguities, whether in sacred texts or others. Vowel marks may have started in Syriac before the 7th century CE, but it took several centuries for them to evolve and spread across Syriac, Hebrew, Jewish Aramaic, and Arabic. By the time the Masoretes were writing the Hebrew Aleppo Codex in the 10th century, the number of dots is enough to make your eyes hurt. The Masoretes weren't interested just in telling people how to read the text, but also in preserving the various reading traditions of how people did read the text. Similarly with the Quran, there are multiple traditions for how to vocalize the rasm, or the base text, and several of these are accepted as canonical in spite of variations in meaning. Dot your I's and cross your T's, so your teacher might have said. That's ambiguity you want to avoid in a legal contract or a sacred text. But dots in Semitic languages let you do something you can't do in English. They eliminate ambiguity without changing the base text, opening the door for multiple oral traditions. Like, follow, subscribe, and share Tiny History Of.